Oil, sandy deserts, modern high-rises. This is the United Arab Emirates, a land of miracles in the Middle East. This is also a land full of oil. In 1960s, with discovery of the black gold, the region began to prosper. Over the following decades, the UAE has transformed itself into a country with one of the highest living standards. In 2022, its GDP has reached an all-time high of $507 billion, with the GDP per capita ranking 6th in the world. This couldn't be established simply by selling oil. It was the future-ready thinking among its leadership that has led to the UAE we know of today.
Then we looked into the scenarios, the scene of the United Arab Emirates at that time. We have growing cities like Dubai, Sharjah, and we have rural areas. And these rural areas are satellites. You really need to get them engaged with the existing growing cities. So what we've done at that time, we thought the best way of improving the thing is to really look into connectivity. And how to connect that is building roads.
With roads built, infrastructures like schools, houses, and hospitals continue to rise, modernizing the once barren deserts. This was one of the country's early concepts of sustainable development. Sitting on one of the world's largest oil reserves, the UAE could have continued to make tremendous money simply relying on oil trade. But the leadership disagrees.
The whole world are changing now. It's a whole game changing. So we need to change before we are in a big problem, I would say.
In the longer run, oil and gas reserves will eventually run out. For a more sustainable future, the country has to change. The UAE leadership wisely decided to diversify its investments to create a new non-oil economy. Non-oil trade plays a pivotal role. Its strategic location and access to the Persian Gulf makes it a global transportation hub. In the first half of 2023, the UAE's non-oil trade hits a record of $340 billion. Among all the countries, China is the UAE's biggest trading partner. In 2015, the UAE officially joined China's Belt and Road Initiative. It has been an active partner since then. The growth of non-oil trade between the two has been remarkable. In 2022, the bilateral non-oil trade reached $77 billion, a 27% increase from 2021, and a 50% increase compared with pre-pandemic levels. Mr. Ke is one vivid example of businessmen benefiting from this booming trade relations. He owns a shop selling mobile accessories in Daira, one of the oldest neighborhoods in Dubai. The shop seems small, but his business is big, taking full advantage of Dubai's highly efficient ports. Most of Mr. Ke's products are manufactured in Guangzhou, shipped to Dubai, and sold to any market a cargo ship can reach.
我们基本上覆盖了东南亚、中东、印巴，到了整个非洲，一直也是沿着这“一带一路”布局下来，我把中国的制造推向海外，这是我们这个10年8年来的发展。我觉得还是走的这个路线会比较好的。
Mobile accessories are a lot cheaper compared to mobile phones, but most people would be shocked to hear that Mr. Ke can make some $10 million a year simply by selling these inexpensive accessories. Mr. Ke is very proud of his business philosophy.
像手机很精的啊，比如说我今年就流行这款机器，它过几个月它就不用了。那我们充电器始终你硬性的，你不用充电器吗？我的充电器有时候可 可以卖到卖个两年3年，我顶多压资金，我至少不至于会血本无归的，不至于亏钱的。
Chinese products are famous for reasonable prices and high quality. This made Chinese businessmen sell brand and quality. This is another key to Mr. Ke's success by establishing his own brand.
我们现在的布局已经不局限于迪拜，迪拜只是作为我们一个海外运营的总部吧。我们在国内生产，把货发到迪拜来的，迪拜分厂，我们接单永远还在这里。你包括我们现在这一波在走的是品牌的路线，我们品牌我现在非洲有30-40个业务员现在在外面跑。
This is a customer from Lebanon, who is also in the business of mobile accessories. He wanted to import thousands of Mr. Ke's products to sell in his own shop. Another proof of how this global shipping hub is helping businesses to thrive. The flourishing business of mobile accessories is a glimpse of the region's growing digital economy. In recent years, the Middle East region has one of the world's highest percentages of smartphone penetration, with the UAE's rate exceeding 96% in 2023. As part of its efforts to diversify away from oil, the government of the UAE is investing heavily into the digital economy. Last year, the UAE announced its digital economy strategy to double the contribution of the sector to its GDP from 9.7% in 2022 to nearly 20% within 10 years.
And the leadership of the UAE had decided to provide digitization to all the cities, and all government services are online. We are almost on our way in advance to achieve some of the SDGs. Objective was 2030. So UAE is a pioneer in terms of digital development, and mainly putting the citizen and the consumer at the heart of the digital development in terms of benefiting on those digital services and hoping to have a better life tomorrow using the digital technologies.
As the region's leading business hub, Dubai, for example, has been prioritizing its expenditure in digital infrastructure, aiming to become one of the world's most connected cities. It has also created the region's first chamber of digital economy, tasked with ensuring the sector reaches 20% of GDP by 2030. As China has emerged as the region's closest trading partner, Chinese digital companies are also attracted by Dubai's ambition to scale up their gains in the region.
近期中国和整个阿联酋，包括沙特和中东这个整个市场的，从上层关系一直到整个市场各方方面面的对接吧，整个营造了一个很好的一个我们的营商的环境，那个外部环境。那所以现在的整个阿联酋，它现在包括中东，整个市场上呈现出很多一个发展机遇。
With mature experiences in digital infrastructures, Chinese companies now play a bigger role in helping the region to improve connectivity.
我们相信这个疫情过后，其实有些模式是没有办法再回到过去了，它继续会沿着一个向信息化、数字化的方向去发展的。像5G 的各种各样的解决方案，如何通过5G 技术来助力本地的千行百业来数字化转型？我们觉得在这一方面，中国其实是有很多成熟的方案、成熟的案例。那么这些在本地市场其实目前来讲还是比较缺乏的。我们觉得这也意味着是对我们发展的一个很大的一个机会吧。
For that, we have the privilege to work and to provide services based on technology providers such as Huawei coming from China, the partnership and cooperation with the largest operator in the world. We need to keep the conversation going on. We have to keep building bridges between those nations.
With the UAE's vision to continue increasing their commitment into digital economy and partnering up with international players, the sector is destined to grow into a significant part of the country's non-oil economy. The huge oil reserves in the UAE will not run out in at least 100 years. It might be convenient to continue powering the country with such fuel, yet the country's sustainable thinking begs to differ. Alternatives have to be ready.
And people from outside would think a country that has a reserve of 100 million ton, why should they do that? That is what I call the abundance of wisdom. You have a lot, but you have the wisdom to know that this is exhaustible.
Baking sand, scorching sun, and almost unbearable heat. Away from the skyscrapers, this is what most of the UAE's territory looks like. The extreme environment might be unlivable, but it is an ideal home for the country's best alternative and sustainable energy.
What are the substitutions that we find available for the globe to replace fossil fuel? There is only one, if we really need to look at it. It is the solar.
As big as 11,000 football fields, the Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum Solar Park in Dubai is one prominent landmark to showcase the UAE's ambition in pursuing alternative energies. Built by Chinese enterprises, the mega project is the world's largest single-site solar park, with a total capacity over 5,000 megawatts by 2030. The solar park will reduce more than 6.5 million tons of carbon emissions annually. Solar is just one option. A wind power project built by Chinese companies has been put into service in Abu Dhabi to generate clean electricity, which is expected to facilitate energy transformation and diversified economic development of the UAE. The country aims to invest AED 600 billion, about 160 billion US dollars, in clean energy projects as part of its net zero 2050 strategy. This is not just about finding alternatives, it's about creating a greener future.
If you really think of the future, if you really think of the generation to come, if you really think of sustainability in its best format, you really need to think of how would I compensate for what I am doing today with potent gases, with the fossil fuel. Can I reduce of it? Can I add another mix to the requirement? And that is what is happening in here. Looking into solar, looking into wind, looking into nuclear. So this mix of fuels is a wisdom.
Climate change is a universal challenge that takes international cooperation to tackle. Over the past decade, under the Belt and Road Initiative, China has cooperated with more than 100 countries and regions on green energy projects.
It is particularly China is really serious about renewables and about renewable energy.
Yeah, and we believe in China is the leading innovator for new technologies, which will make the world to be greener.
Trade, digital economy, green energies, and all sorts of infrastructures. Chinese partners can be seen in almost every sector on the UAE's path of economic development. As the UAE strives for a more diversified economy, it is steadily advancing towards a more vibrant and sustainable future.